All right, students, in this lecture, we're going to talk about viral structures or virus structures. And viruses have a variety of different structures, actually, really not a huge variety, but actually four main uh, different and distinctive type of virus structure. All right, so as you can see here, basically the four helical. All right, so basically it's kind of almost like a rod shaped type of virus. The viruses that I'm familiar with that actually that infects different things of in terms of a helical virus, like the tobacco mosaic virus, a TMV. That is a virus that actually attacks tobacco plants. That's helical. And there are some bacterial, I believe there might be some viruses that are helical that can attack some bacterial organisms. We have polyhedral. So this is polyhedral. All right, spherical. And a number of these viruses we see, animal viruses. So a number, the variety, the majority of animal viruses really that attacks, say, human beings and other organisms quite often are one of these shapes. Oh, and then here, as you can see here, these are the pictures from the electron microscope. And then this is a bacteriophage. That's almost kind of interesting looking. Almost looks like a lunar landing module, if you will. But that's a bacteriophage that typically attacks bacterial organisms. All right, this is pretty cool um, graphic, just showing the shapes of different viruses. Like for instance, that is the rabies virus. We call it like the rhabdono virus. Okay, that's not working there. Influenza, HIV, adenovirus. See that helical, the TMV, the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, T4 virus, papilloma, Zika virus, and this is Ebola over here. So as you see, a variety of different shapes. All right, so this is just helical. Again, tobacco mosaic virus. However, there can be some helical viruses that do attack human beings, and like for instance, Ebola is considered to be a helical virus. I believe that's a graph or an electron magnetograph of Ebola. All right, and I believe and that's it as well. You see here, Ebola virus. So this is actually indeed a helical virus in terms of a helical shaped virus. Variety of other shapes, and all of these right here that you see here are from an electron microscope because viruses are extremely tiny, so you don't only see it using a very high power electron microscope. But this kind of goes from 1 to 5. So this first one is the adenovirus. So this is the adenovirus. Um, excuse me, papillomavirus, influenza virus right here. This is the virus that causes the common flu. It causes the flu. And then this is the herpes virus right here. All right. See, it has like an envelope on the outside, kind of a plasma membrane on the outside, and then a protein coat inside. And inside of here, folks, resides the DNA. And again, just like you say, the genetic material. So here resides the genetic material. So on the inside, of course, resides the genetic material of these viruses. And then lastly, hepatitis. This is a virus that actually, it's a pretty bad virus. There's different versions of hepatitis virus, hepatitis A, B, and C. So that is the virus that attacks the liver. This is just a computer-generated virus. The rhinovirus, a more common virus that causes the common cold and influenza. All right, and of course, there's some similarities and differences between common cold and influenza. Maybe if we have time, we'll get to it later on. Herpes simplex virus. All right. Again, this is the outer coat, the envelope made of a phospholipid bilayer, kind of similar to what on the outside of cells. Okay. And then we have what's called the capsid. This is made out of proteins. All right. And then as you see here, all right, and then you have the genetic material inside. Here's some more thing here. Capsid, the envelope. We'll talk about these later on. These are called viral spikes. It says envelope protein, yeah, but really a lot of times we use the term of a viral spike. We'll talk about that later. Another virus here, you see it says capsid. Okay, I don't know if this color will do any better here. All right, the envelope, plasma membrane type of like structure. It's hard to see them though, but here are the spikes that actually allows virus to attach to the surface of different kinds of cells. All right, a bunch of virus particles right there. And that's HSV. HSV stands for herpes simplex virus. HIV. So again, we'll talk more about this later on, but the spikes, HIV, we call it the glycoprotein, and actually specifically right here, this is glycoprotein 120 and glycoprotein 41. So again, these are the spikes that allow the viruses to attach to cells and therefore enter into cells. Measles.